Hi everyone, welcome back to the podcast. If you're new, welcome. Thanks for finding us, I guess.
Coming
back. If you're a veteran, thanks for coming back and listening to the episodes. We hope that you've been enjoying them. Today, Hans is going to talk about books. What books you should have in your library as a dog trainer, at least what Hans believes that
people ask me what I recommend.
Yeah. And these are books you learned from.
I have stockpile. I just pick these kind of things. There are a few basic books and random ones too.
Yeah.
And if you guys like this on the end, what do you call it?
We want to give links
like us and
we can give links also.
But
like. Oh, I forgot to say like and share.
Right. Well, we could.
I know.
It's there. So.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Please like us, share us.
Yeah, want to buy the Learjet?
Yes, the Learjet. Yes.
We gotta monetize this. We already have enough people to do that.
We do. So.
Yeah. It's only like 1 cent per 100 or
Hey,
whatever.
you know what? It adds up.
Yeah. Well. All right.
You guys like his wrap? You want to rewrap it?
Well, this is a used one.
He just took the wrapper off.
Yeah.
For you guys.
Well, I bought like 50 of these. I was giving them to people, and this one came in wrap. I read it, believe me, probably 20, 30 times.
And that's one of the most influential books on your.
Yeah, this one here.
Yeah.
So there are a bunch of obsolete and debunked books here.
Yes. That's what we should title the episode.
Recommended obsolete and debunked books by Hans.
Yeah, for dog training.
Yeah, well, this. If you follow this is what makes you old school.
I know.
Whatever that means.
Well,
I don't know if it means good or bad. I really don't know, man.
Well, Rembrandt is an old painting, so it's not. They're not as good. They're old. They're old paintings. Rembrandts.
Yeah.
They're old. Yeah,
that's old school.
The David, the sculpture, it's an old sculpture. It's not.
Yeah, or Rembrandt, that man in helmet. It's one of the most amazing paintings I've ever seen. Yeah, so it's not true anymore. It's been debunked because it's old.
Yes.
Look, people ask me what books you recommend. I say any book on dog training. If somebody put effort in it, go ahead and read it. Yeah. But keep open mind, right? There's some books, and I didn't bring those because I don't want to confuse masses, okay?
Yeah.
But there are books which are good partially.
Mm-hmm. Right? You're talking about the conglomerate. And
right, but there are books which have good parts in it, right? And then parts which are not that good, which I disagree with. Maybe not as good, but I disagree with them, so I didn't bring, like I'm talking about mainly about the, so mainly I'm talking about this book, Controlled Aggression by Jerry Bradshaw. I know Jerry a little bit. And there's the first part is excellent, and the second part I don't agree with. Mm-hmm. But it's a book you may want to read, but I don't agree with the application of the first part. Mm-hmm. But the first part is good. Anyway, forget that. I gave him plug now, so he...
He was your, $1 million, $2 million?
Yeah, at least. So the first book here in the United States I trained dogs by was this book here.
Yeah.
Koehler, Method of Dog Training, or Koehler, yeah.
Yeah. Put it behind the microphone, you can kind of see it. I mean, behind, like the focal point is like behind, like there. Yeah.
Right.
Sure. But we'll superimpose it too, yeah. Right there. You guys are probably seeing this image on the screen right now. But
yeah, so this is a good book. This is very similar to my obedience video. This is about dog training out of drive, obedience out of drive. Okay. Now, some of the FFPP means force-free, purely positive people will probably, when they see this book, they'll go convulsion. Okay.
They're gonna burn the book.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to make a podcast on FFPP training.
Okay.
This is bread and butter, this book here. Okay? And it's very good. I remember I was living in Wyoming. I had nothing, man. I was living in the woods in 40 below zero, and I want to train dogs and all that. And I've seen this dog in a bookstore. And I mean, I'm like early 20s,
Yeah.
you know, and I wanted that book so bad, man. And this book was, I don't know, $20-some or something. It was not cheap for those days.
Yeah.
And there's no price there, I don't think. It was written 1962. So it's obsolete and debunked.
Yes.
But I think it was like 28 or 29 bucks. And I always, you know, like kids go to a candy store and look at ice cream or some candy. That's how I was looking at this book. I mean, I was making very little money, and it was just like a major investment for me, right? Imagine it was probably dollar was worth about 4 times as much as it is now. Back then, you know, 1981.
Yeah.
But finally, I broke down and bought that book. And the beauty of that book is that it goes command per session per week.
Okay, so
you know,
simplified down.
So does my class, the obedience on videos. So this is a good book to have together with my video, because basically my video does the same thing. Except there you can see how I'm doing it. Here you gotta read and try to interpret it, and that's how I learned this system. And I before every time I went train dogs for several months, I would read that session. Even so I already read it 10 times, I would read it again. Right? And that's a good way to go. That way you will do less mistakes, and when you make mistakes, you can self-check yourself. And of course I made the videos. You know, I highly recommend you buy the video of the obedience, and there I'm showing you how I do it, what he says here, right? And there's some other things I interpret. And I would like to say one thing. You know, people say this is the old crank and yank and crank Nazi method of training, and it's all compulsion. Every chapter he says you got to reward the dog. So it's not just compulsion. It's ridiculous to say that.
It's a lie.
It's a lie. Yeah, it's a lie, because you know most people say that they never even read the book.
Yeah, they just say it.
You know, they may not even seen the book, you know, or have it in the hand or open it, God forbid.
Yeah.
You know, so and this book here, basically, this book, it's called Guard Dog Training, and you can tell it's red. That's the only way it came up. And that book is containing the first book in it, and also is talking about protection. Now, I don't train exactly how he does protection here, but I learned quite a bit from it. My system is a little different, but it explores same drives, meaning defense. Okay, and so I'm not really promoting the protection part of this book. You see, this book was $24.95.
You know, it's funny that it says guard dog training, and then there's the little dog, like Paco. On the cover. Like the little good dog. Yeah. But it's on the cover too, the little dog. Like,
this one here, yeah.
There's a reason probably you put that there. Because you can train any dog.
Yeah, it's all genetics, they tell you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And you know, I would also recommend people to read the, here it is, there's a picture.
You don't want to put your hand there.
No, I wouldn't. I got bit by little dogs.
You said some of your worst bugs.
And you see he's guarding that purse inside of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good boy.
Yeah. Hodný,
basic. You know, but read the story, the beginning of the book. It gives you his resume.
Yeah.
And it's amazing, you know, what that guy did, you know. And all these yahoos now who bought a leash, you know, and watched a few YouTube videos, and they think they can criticize.
Man, it would have been great for him if there was YouTube, I mean, he would have had a great channel.
Oh man, you know.
Yeah.
And the good part about the guard dog training or protection training is that it's in defense. Where today mistakenly people think protection should be in prey, where prey is for hunting for food to eat.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with protection.
Yeah.
Right. So, and then let me put this one down. This is kind of extra. Then excellent book I highly recommend is one of the first books also I bought and read, and this one I got from Gabor here.
Well, you told me that.
Yeah, because I probably gave it to someone and then I didn't have one. I would like to have it.
It's not an easy read.
Oh man, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, it's difficult read. It's translated from German, I believe.
Yeah.
And
written in when was it? 25?
Well, this one is even older than this one.
25.
Got coffee stain on it.
20s. Was he a colonel in First War or?
I don't know. Let me see.
Yeah.
Copyright. 54.
Copyright, but I mean.
So who knows when it was written, right? First American edition. American
edition, yeah.
Yeah, so it was written in Germany before that, right?
I think it's First War.
Yeah.
He's a colonel.
And this is a classic, you know. And if you can chew through it, it's a really, really good book.
Yeah.
It gives you a good idea. It's kind of manual type book.
Yeah.
But and I don't agree with everything there.
Well, one of the things he says in there is even the dog, I think, don't quote me, and correct me, Hans, is when the dog, what is it? Is it not when he breaks the command? It's when, let's say, you put him into down position. What is it? Don't reward the dog. You say something, right? Or because the dog might do the break it to get.
That's what we talk about in the class.
Yeah, but he says up. Like
he says don't.
Yeah, he says reward the dog.
Well, there's two
I know
two schools on it.
Two schools, but yeah.
In other words, what Gabor is saying here in clumsy way.
Clumsy way, yeah.
It's you know the dog doesn't do it, so you correct him.
Yeah.
And he does it. Now, are you supposed to reward the dog or not?
Yeah, he says it.
Right, and I don't. What does he say? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, the problem with yes is that.
Which makes sense. What Hans is going to say. Yeah.
The problem with yes is that the dog then can make mistakes, so he can get the reward. But you got to understand, back then when they corrected the dog didn't want to get another correction. Those were really super hard corrections.
Yeah. I think there's a different level of correction.
Yeah, if you would do that type of correction from a Home Depot, they'll call SWAT team on you.
They would like shoot you right there. Yeah.
They did on me once, not SWAT team.
I don't remember you told me the story.
Yeah, and
there's many stories.
Oh yeah, well, that's one of them. That's a good story actually. And this one is a classic.
I haven't seen that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. I mean, this is how the original looks.
Okay.
Right, and this is translated from German. It was written in 1925, and it's the German Shepherd dog in word and picture. So if you're interested in German Shepherd, this is a must.
Okay.
This was written by the creator of the German Shepherd breed, Rittmeister Max von Stefanitz. Okay, and I strongly urge you to read it. Again, you got to chew through it. And you see, it's funny, back then they put advertisement on the...
right in the front.
You know, this is the era advertisement from 1925 on German Shepherd.
Yeah, it worked. You opened the book. It's right there.
Yeah, so you paid for it, right?
Yeah.
And this was written by Verein für Deutsche Schäferhunde. And there's a history, and it's a great book. Mm-hmm. Again, it's extremely hard to read. Mm-hmm. Same way as all books who are translated from German are almost impossible to read. I don't know why it is.
Yeah,
I can read German. I used to be able anyway, and it was not that hard.
Yeah.
But once you translate it,
translations are hard
it's
because
just
certain
difficult.
words,
But it's a difficult reading. But the factual
gist of the book is
factual. It's amazing how he created the breed and what bloodlines and it's a history.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
Yeah. Did Yiri read this book?
Oh, of course.
I mean, he approved of that. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And then we have book on hips. You see, I have my little notes in here. I sold this book, by the way.
Yeah.
It was written by Fred Lanting. I know Fred Lanting. He knows me. He's a good guy. And this is, as far as I know, the most comprehensive book on hips I have seen. Some of the stuff may not be true, they say, but I didn't find anything. He wrote another book, which was a little tiny book, but this is the follow-up book.
Okay.
And it's very complete. If you want to know anything about hips and how to breed hips and how to test for hips and what causes bad hips and all that, anything you need to know about hips,
that's the book.
This is the book.
Okay.
Okay. Canine hip dysplasia and other orthopedic disorders by Fred Lanting. Excellent book. Excellent book. I mean, there is none other on hips.
Or definite.
Yeah, you can find a bunch of stuff on internet, but there is nothing comprehensively put together like this. Different testing, X-raying and what ages and why.
Which we did a podcast.
Cornell University and all.
We did a podcast on hips. That was a good one too.
Yeah,
listeners. Yeah.
And these books, there are some of many. That's why I keep saying, you should guys read books. This was one of the first books I ever bought on German Shepherds by Winfried Gibson Strickland.
Okay.
Okay. And there is good stuff, and there's some dog training in it, and and it tells you a lot of she was doing mainly show dogs, but one needs to understand that the time she was doing show dogs also worked.
So it's a different type.
Yeah, so it's all different. Now.
Oh, she signed it.
No.
I thought it was.
I bought it. It's somebody claiming his book.
Oh.
No, she didn't. No.
I just saw a signature in it.
No, it's some kind of Susan Shaw who owned the book and probably sold it to somewhere. Okay, where is the copyright on this one? What the hell is it? 74.
So different, yeah.
Yeah. So, there was still the dogs, German Shepherd still worked.
Yeah, and things have changed dramatically.
Yeah, it changed since then.
Yeah.
And there is some training tips, I believe, in this too. And I'm proposed. This is really good on German Shepherds history, right? And she was a very good, famous person, and she trained dogs, do tricks and all that. And it's a good book. Good read. And then. This book is basically the same thing, a different book, but same kind of thing, right? I like this picture.
The fishing, it's a good-looking dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like that picture.
Yeah.
That boy fishing with his German Shepherd. You see sleeping, and the German Shepherd is watching the bobber.
I mean, if you average out the breed, I mean, there's really no match. I mean, there's breeds that I'm not putting. I mean, I love all dogs. I don't care if it's a little Chihuahua to whatever. But overall, when you average out a good German Shepherd, a proper German Shepherd, there's nothing like it. I mean, it's
Well, the problem these days also is that people don't know how to live with the dog. They train them and whatever. They say, "Oh, I want to match the dog's potential." I say, good luck with that. You cannot match German Shepherd's potential. They're way above where you ever will bring them.
Yeah.
And just live with the darn dog, okay? Yeah. Keep him in your house. Go for a ride with him.
Yeah.
Go hiking. Take him for walks. Throw him a stick. Just let him be your partner.
Yeah.
Not some kind of a toy.
Yeah.
Or just let him be part of you and you part of him, and you will have an amazing experience.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm feeling, and I mean, I know Hans and kind of, but I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you're basically, what the sports is doing these days is stealing that a little bit. In a way,
you know, the way sports are done, and I don't want people say Hans hates sports. I don't hate sports per se. I hate what the sport does today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what sports does today is a lot of people who do sport, they do it for the right reason, but most of them do it to satisfy their egos. They have some kind of an inferiority complex, and through the training of the dogs, they want to show everybody that they're better people than they are.
Yeah.
And that's not what German Shepherd or working or sport dog should be about, you know. Yeah, if you enjoy sport and all that, fine, but don't do it for your own ego. Okay, number one. And number two, don't pussify that sport anymore as it already is.
Yeah.
You know, they completely took defense in the dog and ability to deal with stress and all that completely out of the breed, out of the sport rather, and thus out of the breed. You know, so that's what I don't like about sport. Sport is good.
Yeah.
You know, but
structure and this thing.
You know,
and you said you learned, you know, from.
Yeah. It's like saying I hate gymnastics. You know. Okay. Well, no, I don't hate gymnastics. I just don't want to walk like that on the street. Like somersaults and stuff. Right?
Yeah, it's the same concept or analogy.
And German Shepherd is a practical dog for everyday life.
Very practical,
Yeah.
It's great with.
So this is few books I grabbed today before I came here. The first book, and you know, and also these older books, the other books, the last two I mentioned, they talk about structure of the dog and gait and all that. You know, which is really important actually, in the old-fashioned way.
Okay.
The dog doesn't overreach. How economical the when the dog is trotting should be, and all that. It's all inherited.
Yeah.
And it's nobody pays attention to that anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you're one of the few people that actually, you know, understand it too and talk about it.
Yeah, I have a bunch of books in Czech, which when I go to Czechoslovakia, I always hit old bookstores and all that, and I see anything. You know, friends, you know, they see book on dogs, so they send them to me, and I read them and all that. You know, I love to read all these old books about training and German Shepherd and police work and protection work and obedience and all that.
If you enjoyed this content so far, please subscribe to our channel. Also, Hans has a podcast channel called Dog Training for Life. Check that out so you can listen to the audio version.
To see the old school training.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We could have done it too with technology these days and have Yuri on call in. Even though he was speaking Czech, it could have been translated. Imagine you guys.
Me and Yuri?
The podcast,
Yeah, unfortunately, he's in a better place now.
Yeah, he's not with us anymore. But you know what? I hate the word sometimes. Old, like I don't know.
I don't know what I should make out of it when somebody says old school.
Yeah, because
is it good or is it bad, man?
Yeah.
You know, people say it's old school. It's debunked, and then they say, "Oh, you do it the old school." I said, "What's wrong with old school?"
Yeah.
It worked for thousands of years, and suddenly in 1999 it stopped working, and suddenly we get new school.
Yeah, we have more science, like stupid stuff like that.
Remember, science is always wrong. You know why?
And it's changing.
Because today's science is going to be overcome by tomorrow's science. So today's science is also not right.
Yeah.
Right. So I go rather by what worked forever.
Yeah.
Right. The classical stuff. You know.
Yeah. It's like,
you know, I go as I keep saying, if it worked for 2,000 years, it's probably gonna work today and tomorrow too. You know.
It's like lard. It's like, oh no, you don't. It's gonna kill you. It sustained societies for thousands of years.
My mom, when she sent me to school, I got a lard sandwich, man.
The bread. Yeah, I did that.
Yeah, she got rye bread and spread it liberally, lard on it, put a little salt and pepper, maybe paprika, chopped onion.
It was delicious.
Caraway, maybe a little bit. Oh my God, my mouth is watering right now.
It worked. Got you.
And I was skinny.
Yeah.
And then I come in America and everybody's eating
it's gonna
healthy,
kill
and look
you.
at me, I'm fucking 300 pounds, man.
Yeah. So
You know.
there you go. Don't get us started.
Yeah, don't let me start.
No, this was a good episode. The books are great. Thanks for sharing it with us. Yeah, I mean, I think there's people out there.
That's where I would go with books, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, and as I said, pick up books, man. You know, I got this book and I still didn't read it, man. I need to read it. This guy wrote a book, and I bought it because of the title. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why I bought it.
What is it?
How does it sound? I don't want to screw it up. The dumb animal on one end of the leash and dog on the other. That's the name of the book.
I gotta have that in my library.
I gotta have that. I have it, you know. I didn't bring that one because I didn't read it.
Yeah, yeah.
But I gotta read it. I kind of zipped through it a little bit, and it seems makes sense. So some cop wrote it, some police officer.
Yeah. Actually, we had a comment. This is recent. I mean, it depends when this video comes out. But he's a police officer, as a canine handler, and he was just joyful to find the channel. So, which is great. So that's
I hope it's different. You know that it. There's a lot of good channels on, and there's a lot of crap, but there's a lot of good channels on YouTube.
Yeah,
you know,
I would say more bad than good,
but there's some good stuff.
Sure,
you know, and I watch it.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to promote anybody here, but you know, I like some of them. You know, and but there's I don't necessarily always agree with everything, but that's the nature of the beast.
Yeah, we try to find a channel that's fairly, nothing is consistent always, but to have a fairly consistent channel that has good information, it's hard to find.
People say, you have entrenched opinions and you only mentioning your opinions or consider your opinion. I said, so whose opinion should I consider, yours or what? You know, I mean, you know, I have certain belief, which is built on my knowledge, and that's what I'm saying. Why should I say something I don't believe in? Yeah. You know? Yeah. It doesn't make sense. No. But that's all right.
No. Anything else, Hans?
No.
Okay. Yeah, check out these books. We'll try to put links.
One more thing. I'm writing book myself now. So, you know, I'm about, I got stuck, you know. I started rewriting what I already wrote, and Gabor properly told me...
I'm not the only one said it, but I said...
Gabor properly told me, stop doing that because you will be stuck forever.
Yeah.
So I just got to keep going. I'm about 100 pages.
You
know,
it's not easy writing a book.
Well, it's different to write novel where it kind of flows a story, or flows or textbook basically, or...
Yeah.
Because there's so many dimensions to it, you know.
Yeah.
You know, history and breeds and genetics and different drives and different training methods, and you know, it's just too many facets.
But I think these, you know, YouTube, what everybody's watching here is part of your book too. I mean, in a way, you know, it's not these days. You're.
But that book, you know, I think would like. I don't want to write it like a manual, but I want it to be like book of understanding. The book already gave it a name. I think I'm going to keep it. It's How to Train an Imperfect Dog. Mm-hmm. You know, because all dogs are imperfect. Yeah. You know, but I want people to realize that.
Yeah.
You know.
No, all right. It's a great title. So, thank you, Hans, again. If you want to purchase videos, instructional videos, the obedience videos, personal protection, how to train make sure you visit alpinecaninreal.com. So it's Alpine.
Because there's all sorts of stuff like a coaching. I provide coaching now.
One-on-one coaching.
One-on-one. You have a problem with your dog of any sort, search and rescue, protection, obedience, behavioral modification, dog is biting, chewing your whatever. I'm here for you.
Hans is there. Also, if you're looking for a puppy or a young prospect, a trained dog, already trained dog.
Yeah, I provide dogs for law enforcement.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, personal protection for private people.
Yeah. I remember driving with Hans once. We picked up with 3 of them. It was going somewhere.
Well, imagine I sometimes brought like 8 of them or 10
of them strapped.
Imagine in my truck, I got to stock them up. That's why I have those racks on the side.
I know, yeah. So go to the website, check all that stuff out, and we'll see you guys next time.
Ahoy.